all my life, I've visited various doctors. I've met with different type of doctors. I have never ever seen a doctor that terrible. I will not jump. I will tell you the story. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's lovely to have you guys here again. If this is your first time on my channel, you are welcome in the name of the Lord. I'm really happy that you're watching this video, and I implore you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please do like this video, share it, and leave a comment down below. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. It really means a lot to me. It shows that you love my content, and I'm really happy that you're watching this video. So this video is a story time, really, and I'm just going to be telling you guys about how and when I found out that I am sickle cell. Yeah. So if you've been on this channel, you'll have seen a video of you'll have seen a video that I made celebrating Sickle Cell Awareness Day. Yeah, that is because I'm sickle cell. I'm going to link that video down below. Yeah, so I'm just going to be telling us today in this video about how I found out that I am sickle cell. It's quite I don't know how to describe the story, so I will just leave that to you guys to just leave in a comment down. Let me know if you think the story is weird, interesting, or funny, or whatever your opinion is, really. Yeah, so let's go right into the video. So how I found out that I'm sickle cell. So for 16 years of my life, I lived with sickle cell and I had no idea. Yeah, and I didn't find out up until I gained admission into the University of Illinois to study, and this was how it went down. Okay, so usually sickle cell crisis happens in the middle of the night, and I don't understand why. Please, if you know why, if you're a warrior or a doctor and you know why, please let me know, because I don't know why. Crisis mostly happens in the middle of the night where you have nowhere to run to. But on this fateful day, it happened in the afternoon or morning, daytime, sha. It happened during the daytime, and I had this like serious crisis. It was really, the pain was really excruciating. It was like a major crisis, and my both parents were around. Usually, my dad is rarely around whenever I have crises. He travels a lot for work, so it was around this day, my both friends were around, and then I had this crisis. It was really serious, and then when it was like getting out of hand, they were like, okay, I think we start going to the hospital. And so they were like, okay, before we get to the hospital, there's something we need to tell you. And I'm like, what? Let's just go to the hospital. Like, the pain was too much for me to even listen to anything they had to say. But they needed to say something before they got to the hospital, that now that I'm going to school, and they to know and everything. I was like, okay, what? Thank God. Thank God they actually told me before we got to the hospital, because that doctor we met in the hospital that day, all my life, I've visited various doctors. I've met with different type of doctors. I have never ever seen a doctor that terrible. I will not jump. I will tell you the story. So after that, while I was much more younger, mom usually she gave me a lot of drugs. I noticed, I grew up to notice that I was always on medication. It was either this drug or that drug or this supplement or this tonic or this herbal drug. I took a lot of medicine. And whenever I asked her, she was always like, oh, it's for general well-being. Everybody takes it. Dayo takes it. Shago takes it. Talani too takes it. Like, okay, since everybody is taking it, no problem. So I will take it. So I just knew I took a lot of drugs. And every other person too did. We were all taking it for general well-being. And that was how much I knew. And also, I knew that there was this familiar pain. I really fell into crisis while I was much younger. I feel like it was because my mom was she had this close monitoring on my health. So I really fell into crisis. But whenever I did, there was this familiar pain. I didn't know it was sickle cell crisis. I just knew there was this pain that usually happens like any part of my body. It could be my head, it could be my neck, it could be my jaw, it could be my waist, my knee, mostly my joints. It could even be my gums, my teeth, weird places. And whenever I go to meet my mom, I'm like, Mommy, my body is paining me. She's like, that pain, Abby. I'm like, yeah, that pain. So we knew, but she knew. I didn't know. She knew what was going on, but I didn't know. We just knew that, okay, there is this pain, and there is this one or two things that we do to take the pain away. At least as much as she can try, she takes the pain away. So that was all I knew, and I just felt like, oh, it's and AS something. I didn't. I never, it never occurred to me that I was or that I am SS. They were like, okay, we need to tell you something. I'm like, okay, what is the problem in pain and everything? I was like, what's the problem? I'm like, you are SS. No, it can't be. That wasn't what you guys told me. All my life, up until then, you told me I was AS. So that is what I am, not what you're saying. What is this? So the drugs is not just for general well-being for everybody. It is just for Anu. Okay. 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 So that was the display. It was mind blowing. I was, oh Lord, thank God that I this whole thing happened in the house before we left the hospital. So they said doing the whole consoling, talking, and we just didn't want to tell you so that you will not feel less of yourself, so that you will not lose your self-esteem, blah 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 da 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 da. Da. All that after talk they were doing after they broke the news, I wasn't listening. Like I already lost touch. I now started because in school I had this friend when I was in SS1. As a then, I was in SS1. And, one time, the friend told me, she was like, Anu, are you sure you are AS? I'm like, yes, that's what my mommy said. I'm AS. And then she's like, if you're really AS, then you're the weakest AS I have ever seen. And I'm like, eh, I don't know. I'm sure AS. So, like, I didn't care much. Hmm? And like, she's like, maybe AS, they are divided into two. Maybe they're the weak ones and the strong. I'm like, maybe God did not concern me. I shall know I'm AS. Because then, when like everything it was like a puzzle, and everything just started coming together, and I could say like I started seeing reasons to certain things that happened in my life, and certain reasons why I couldn't do certain things. And then when my classmates are engaging in certain stuff, I couldn't do because I felt like I'll be tired. I don't have the strength to do it. I'll be weak and everything. So I started understanding. I'm like, oh, so this is why. I'm like, so I'm really trying to hold myself back from mentioning the name of that my classmate then. I'm like, so this is what this girl was saying. So I actually know what she was like. So I'm actually not AS. I'm SS. Wow. Mommy and daddy, you really tried. It was so we got to the hospital and they were still doing all that all the old consoling talk and everything. They were still doing everything like while we were driving to the hospital. And the news it just broke to me, and the pain I was in, they didn't even allow me to listen much to what they were saying. I was just hearing with the no and da 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 da. They were just talking. I wasn't listening. And then we got to the hospital. That doctor in that hospital. Oh God. Oh God. Is a terrible doctor. I don't know how he became a doctor. And as we got into his office, I was all wrapped up and, I was looking like shawarma. We got to his office and the doctor was like, ah, you know, remembering now, like recalling the event now is just very funny. And I was like, ah, sickler, Lama, you're a sickler. Really? Doctor, really? The most heartbreaking part of it was a young guy. Like it was not an elderly doctor. It was a young man. And he was talking like that. I said, Otishi profession. Otishi profession, she. This doctor work is not for you. And I was just thanking God that my parents already broke the news to me before we left the house for the hospital. Because if I were to find out like that, I would be devastated. And I'm like, I know. Like, he has not even started treating me. I just felt so irritated by him. I'm like, what sort of doctor is this? Thinking about it now, it's just very funny to me. After that time, I have met some other horrible doctors that, they've referred to me in using that term, sickler. And I hate that term. Like, I don't like it. So I've met quite a number of doctors like that. Like, what do you really teach in your doctor school? Don't you know how to relate with a patient? How to talk to a patient? Sickler. So he treated me, we got the bed, started taking the drips, started poking my body with all sorts of injections and needles and everything, and started to get better. So that was how I found out. After I found out that I am sickle cell, the weirdest and strangest thing started happening. What? Before then, no random strange person would just walk up to me and, start having this pitiful talk with me, talking to me out of sympathy. Is it sympathy? It's sympathy. And talking to me out of pity. It never happened before I found out. But after I found out, I would just be at a bus stop. Or be inside a bus. Or just be in a public place. This random person, a total stranger, would just walk up to me and be like, how are you? How are you doing? You look like my wife. But she's fine. You don't need to worry. We have 4 children now. 4 boys. Maybe I could say now. And I'm like, do I know you, sir? Not today. In my head, I always felt very embarrassed. And it didn't just happen one time or twice. It happened a lot of times. One time I was in this public bathroom and this woman walked up to me and she was like, My dear, this heels you are wearing is too high for you. She said, yes, I know. I have two boys like you at home. I'm like, two boys like me, like what? He said, yeah, sickle cell now. Oh God, is it written on my forehead? Is it written on my forehead? And she's like, my dear, I'm a doctor. And that one just blew my head. I'm like, you're a doctor, doctor of medicine. How do you have two sickle cell boys? I'm not judging you. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering. Like, could this be love? Mm-hmm. Ah! So like people say coming up to me like that. Even sickle cell warriors, different time. Especially in school, they just woke up to me and they'll be like, "Hi," I'm like, "How are you doing?" Like, I'm fine. Yeah, actually, I'm really fine. How's your health? And I'm sickle cell too. At that point of my life when I just found out, I was really angry, and I was like, and I felt like why me? Like why would such be happening to me? So when people walked up to me like that, I usually I had this very aggressive response towards them. I was usually aggressive towards them, especially if you're a warrior too, and you just and just walk up to me and I'm like, I'm sick of I'm like, so what should I do? It was just in my head though. I usually don't like respond to them like that. But you would see from my expression and my reaction that I don't care. Honestly, why are you telling me you're a warrior? Did I tell you I'm a warrior? But not anymore. Not anymore. It's been a long time coming, and where I find myself now, I'm very happy because I've accepted that this is me, and you know it took me a while to open up and just embrace things the way they are. So at some point I joined some sickle cell initiative stuff, and I only went to the meeting once because I just don't feel very comfortable living like that's the centerpiece of my life. That I'm sickle cell. I feel like there's more to me than just that. So I don't really like to. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. If you don't get it, forget about it. Forget about it. So yeah, God has been very faithful. You know, I've learned how to watch after myself, take care of myself. I've learned how to take precautions. I know what to do when I'm having certain crises and certain stuff happen. Even though sometimes I don't take precautions, but it's just been a very fair journey ever since I found out. I've had, I've moved from denial to the angry period. When I was just mad at everything, and to the period where I just like accepted that okay, it is what it is. You know, up until that period, and now I'm just living my life, enjoying my life, because what can I do? What can a baby girl do? I mean, God has been good to me. What more do I want? God has been very good to me. So I've just been living my life, and I stay positive, and whenever I meet other warriors now, I don't have that nasty um behavior that I used to when I initially found out. Now I'm more embracing and welcoming, and I can empathize with them because I know how they feel, and now when the other day at my CDS they were talking about sickle cell, and you know I didn't feel weird to sit down and listen to what before I would feel really weird and like, why are people talking about this thing? And like, why can't you talk about something else? Why are we discussing sickle cell yet? But it's not like that anymore. So I feel like I am now in a better place. Yeah, I'm now in a better place, and I'm happy because God has kept me up until now. I feel like I'm a very, 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 very lucky and very loved warrior. And I really consider my parents also lucky because I have met with warriors that when I look at myself, I thank God. I'm like, God, I thank you. So I consider myself very lucky. I consider myself very loved. I consider my parents equally lucky that Oromi Ojibailo Luwoshi. Yeah, I'm Yoruba. You can't take that away from me. So, that's the story of how I found out that I'm sickle cell, my crazy doctor experience, weird thing that happened after I found out, and all the plenty fake story my parents told me before while I was much younger just to protect me. So I hope you guys found this video interesting. Well, I hope you really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching up until this point. Please, if you've stayed up until now, just click the subscribe button. Like, Google got to the end of the video already. So, what is the point? Just click the subscribe button. Just leave a comment. It could just be the heart shape emoji. Just leave the comments. Share the video. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Bye.